not giving them the PR. So they are dependent upon their employer's work permit. What if the
Okay.
work permit goes away? They might come back to India. In that situation, term covers in India make sense.
So Gitanjali is asking, can they take in both countries and can be claimed in both? Is that possible?
I would say yes. I would say yes, because term cover is not like medical cover, where it's you can only claim the total amount of money which you have paid for hospitalization a little bit. Term cover, as long as your income can support, you can take insurance worldwide. But what happens generally now, this is a tricky difference between India and what you've seen in some other countries. In India, you are financially kind of vetted whether you deserve an insurance or not. So there's an income multiplier based upon your age. For example, for a person till mid 30s, roughly 25 times of your income you can take a cover. Now, if you have a 10 lakhs, you can go right up to 2.5. You can go really good multiples in India. But when the form, now this is where it becomes very important that your advisor, agent, broker, whomsoever you want to say, who's helping you out, should be disclosing all what is possible to the insurance company in India when you're seeking an insurance that, hey guys, I live outside India. I already have this much amount of cover there. Because these kind of things are not the forms which are prepared in India. They're not customized for non-residents. So what you do not want is that the insurance company later on rejects a claim stating that, hey, you earned this much, your total eligibility was, let's say, 10 crores. You already had 8 crores outside India and you took another 5 years. We are not going to pay you now.
Oh, that
So
also
what we have
happens.
done, no, I'm not saying that has happened or not, but if this was a total and India related case, a total eligibility is computed with all of your existing insurances versus plus what you want to take extra. So what we do for our non-resident clients is if we conclude that they want to take in India and that's the right thing to do for them, if it is the right thing to do, we over and above the standard form, we submit a declaration to the insurance company as well that this chap already has got X amount of cover in the respective country. Later on, don't come and kind of fool around stating that we cannot pay you this. This has all been disclosed to you right up front.
That's a
But
very important point. Yes.
for your, I mean, those questions, to answer those questions, you can take anywhere and the entire money should be paid. It's not like that only one insurance company will pay.
Got it. So now let's now talk about health insurance for someone who is thinking of being in multiple countries, because many people who are in India right now or in other countries. Let's say you want to go for higher education and you'll work in another country, but maybe like 1 month in a year you might come home to India to visit your parents, your family, and all of that. So during in that kind of a dynamic, which is very common for most people, how would health insurance play out? Like most people will have the health insurance in that country, but in India, for the 1 month that they're in India, what should be done? Do they need to have separate health insurance in India for that?
Sharan, this is very tricky. I mean, there's no white, gray, black lines written out there from an insurance company because it could be very interestingly considered as medical tourism for which ideally there should be no insurance cover to be provided. I have a few options over here in absence of a lot of clarity. First, when a person is just coming as visitor, it's better to take a travel insurance from the respective country, right? And this predominantly is valid for people who are living in developed economies where there's a good social and medical facilities. One of the person was talking about UK and NHS, one of the examples, for example, of those countries. Those people may not need a health insurance in India. Again, provided, there's one big provided here. Where do you plan to retire? One of the interesting things about health insurance, as you would also know, that while you are healthy, the insurance company is happy to provide you. The moment some material illnesses creep in, the chances of getting a good insurance goes for a toss.
Right.
So we interact with many NRIs and also people living in India that let me since you asked the question from a non-resident's perspective, people traveling into India, let me kind of put that perspective. Let's say they want to come back to India after 5 years. Whenever you take any insurance, health insurance in the country, there is a waiting period of multiple illnesses.
Right.
Something for 24 months if you've got some existing condition for 3 years, 4 years, and so on. So the insurance needs to kind of marinate. Your medical history needs to be developed before an insurance can be classified as a full history.
Right.
Now, but when you take an insurance in India, you disclose where you live. And that most of those disclosures are that you are a person living in India. Now, there are many kind of practices which happens on the street. People say